Virtual summits are the most powerful online marketing tool available to grow your list, launch your platform, make more money, and create an impact in the world, even if you're just getting started. If you are ready to take your summit to the next level, then tune into the Virtual Summit Podcast with Dr. Mark T. Wade.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark T. Wade, founder of Virtual Summit Software and creator of the One Day Summit Formula. And I'm on a mission to help you, the summit host, get your summit out to the world in a powerful and impactful way. So let's get started. If you're ready to take your summit to the next level or want to start implementing other virtual events, then this episode is definitely for you and you're going to want to be here. Hey there, Dr. Mark T. Wade, founder of Virtual Summit Software, your host here on the Virtual Summit Podcast, and I'm excited to tell you about our upcoming event. I decided, you know what, I'm going to take this episode not to just tell you about the event that's coming up, to actually break it down, because I think there are some learning points for you right now in this event that we're about to do. And that event is Summit Fest Live. So you can grab your tickets right now. It's still happening February 3rd through the 5th. Grab your ticket, join us live, whether it's in person in New Orleans or grab one of our virtual passes and stream live in real time with one of those interactive passes. Now grab it. You can go to summitfestlive.com. So I figured let's actually break down Summit Fest Live. Let's use this opportunity not just to remind you to be there with us. This is definitely an event you do not want to miss if you're looking at creating your first or your next virtual summit, or if you're actually looking at adding on other types of virtual events like challenges, live stream conferences, online workshops, virtual masterminds. All of that is represented at Summit Fest Live. So I said, let's go ahead and tell them, let's remind everybody that it's happening. But also let's use this opportunity to break it down so you can see it, because what is Summit Fest Live? Summit Fest Live, which is normally our in-person conference. Last year, it was focused specifically on virtual summits and for virtual summit hosts. Well, this year we've expanded that in the virtual event space, which is the fastest growing industry in the world right now. We've decided to expand to encompass these other virtual events as well, so you can get a little bit of everything at one spot. But also, in light of the current atmosphere with some people not wanting to get out and leave yet, we've decided, well, let's take that into consideration and let's create a hybrid conference. And so with that being said, that makes it a perfect example to walk through today in real time, showing you about Summit Fest Live, but also showing you the different aspects of it from a hybrid event perspective. So first off, let's just start. What is it? Like we talked about how in the past it was specifically focused on summits. This year, what it is strategic implementable presentations by experts who are doing the exact things they are teaching, breaking down specific parts or tips or strategies or insights into different aspects of virtual events. So what I mean by that, all of that, is first off, we didn't just take anybody to speak on this. We actually had over 75 speakers apply. We reduced that down to about 25 speakers. And I went through and I vetted every single speaker. I looked at not only what is the topic that they would want to talk on, because I wanted to make sure we had a variety of every different type of topic under the umbrella of virtual events covered. But I also wasn't just looking for like headliners. I wasn't just going to call up my buddy John Lee Dumas and be like, hey, JLD, come join me here, just because he's got a big name. No. If they are on this stage, they have been vetted and have looked at to make sure that what they are teaching they have actually done. So you can know with confidence that anybody who is teaching on these stages have done the thing they're teaching. And not like 7 years ago either, like within the last year. So this is like real time, up to date strategies that work now, because if you follow me, you understand we constantly talk about new and changing strategies, updating trends, things that, do work this year, didn't work last year, or worked last year and don't work this year. So it's important to have your finger on the pulse of what is happening now. So that was the first key. 2, no pitching. This is not a pitch fest. These speakers are going to be giving you strategic, implementable tactics It's also not theory. It's not hypothetical. You are going to walk away with things that you can write down and actually use in your event, whether it's next week, next month, next year. You're going to have these tools in your tool belt.
Virtual Summit's software makes hosting a summit easier than ever. The only software in the world designed specifically for hosting a summit lets you set up a summit in a matter of hours with no tech skill or team needed. You can try out the Virtual Summit's software free at virtualsummits.com. But hurry, this is a limited offer.
Now, with that being said, my belief is that the virtual event space is kind of where podcasting was at about 10 years ago. And it has the opportunity to become an industry that's going to create so much opportunity for all of us that are in this space, whether you are a host, whether you are an attendee, whether you are a consultant, a coach, a service, a product, a technology, etc. Inside of the virtual event space, we have an opportunity here. And so one of my missions that I'm doing throughout all of my companies is creating an environment for this industry to take shape. See, I believe for the industry to take shape, we need to bring the people, the experts, the heads out there that are out there doing amazing, remarkable things, and bring them together in one place so that collaboration, opportunity, brainstorming, all these amazing things can happen and arise from that, which will only cause more flourishing and more increase to happen. And that's what Summit Fest Live is. It's the place for everyone to come together and start to look at these opportunities, start to look at these new ways of doing things, start to look at what's working, what's not working, get ideas from others, So, and here's the other thing with these speakers, they're not all in one industry. These are not all entrepreneurs. We have people who've done them in financial aspects. We have people who've done them in the farming, virtual events in the farming niche. We've had people in the chiropractic niche, the health professional niche, the dancing niche. I mean, in in-person indoor rec niche. We've got all kinds of different industries represented inside of Summit Fest Live. And one of my core beliefs is, or one of my core philosophies, I'm always looking for uncommon commonalities. I believe there's a lot of opportunity in business if you find things that aren't normally in a certain niche, a certain arena, and you bring those into it, you can get a lot of success really quick. So that's another aspect with Summit Fest Live. These are not all Facebook marketing, online course, entrepreneurs talking about virtual events. This is a plethora of industries and niches represented here. So it's going to create a lot of thought, a lot of excitement, a lot of collaboration, which was one of the top things our speakers and attendees from last year's Summit Fest Live said was one of which we had a net promoter score of, I think it was 8.8, which is really high. So we loved that. We had over 80% of the attendees last year and speakers purchase tickets to this year. That's how great of an event it was. But one of the top feedbacks I got was how much opportunity and collaboration came from being at that event. So if you're looking for some opportunities, if you're looking for some collaboration, this is the place to be. Even if you're going to be there virtually with us, and I'm going to break this down and talk you through all the different aspects that are going to be there. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. But again, we are looking with Summit Fest Live to create a community, a network, collaboration. The third aspect of it, which is, just based a little bit off my personality, is experience. We want a memorable experience. We want you to walk away going, wow, that was a lot of fun. I cannot wait till the next one. Now, you might be saying, okay, Mark, I get it. If the in-person version of it, the in-person is in New Orleans, all of the speakers are going to be there. You've got some of those super VIP tickets that are going to be there. And you guys are going to be doing things in person and going down Bourbon Street and checking out, the Jackson Square and getting beignets at Cafe Du Monde. I can see all the amazing fun that you would have in person. But how's it going to be a memorable experience virtually? Well, we have special virtual events planned just for the virtual attendees. So let's kind of chat. We'll get into that in just a second. I'll explain and break it all down. So where is it at? I mean, if you haven't picked up on that already, it is hosted in New Orleans. It's always the first week of February. So even if you're hearing this 3 years later, you can go to summitfestlive.com and check it out. We are still going to be hosting it first week of February. You can check those dates there. It's in New Orleans, which is one of my favorite cities in the entire world. It has a little bit of everything. So what my goal is, you're going to come for the conference, but you're going to stay and have fun in the city. So we always host it the weekend before. It's essentially the weekend before Mardi Gras. There's so much there's a little something for everyone in New Orleans. If you haven't been to NOLA, you got to check it out. It's got cuisine, it's got culture, it's got art, it's got music, jazz, it's got so much food. It's got fun. There's activities, there's tours. And one of my favorite things to do is the ghost tour in New Orleans. There's so much history there. So it's got a little bit of something for everyone, which is why we host it in New Orleans. It's a lot of fun. Now, every year we will have the in-person conference at Summit Fest Live in New Orleans. Come join us there. This year, we decided to do a hybrid version since there are limits on capacity. And of course, we're daily checking all of the updates and standards and safety precautions, and we are 110% ahead of all of that and, adhering to all regulations. But it's open. Despite what you read or hear, New Orleans is open. Dining inside, all of this stuff, all the luxuries that we have in certain places in the world. But what we're doing is all of the speakers, every speaker you're going to hear from or see are going to be there in person in New Orleans. We're running it just like we would any other conference. We've got multiple rooms. We've got breakout things happening. We got DJ Sammy, who's going to be emceeing, who's the DJ at, some huge events like Traffic and Conversion Summit, which has like 7,000 attendees. He's the DJ at Mindshare, which is in the health space, Health Entrepreneurs, which has like thousands of attendees. He's DJ'd at A-Fest and thousands of other places. So he's going to be there providing energy and excitement and emceeing both in person, but it's going to pass right over there to our virtual attendees as well. We've got an AV team with multiple cameras, setups. We've got stages. So the whole thing is happening right there in person. And then, like I said, we have this select number of super VIP, which means you get to be there in person with all of the speakers. It's almost kind of like having a conference designed just for these 10 or 15 people. If you're in there in person, it's like, wow, you get to hang out with the speakers. You're masterminding with all the experts. You're literally right there getting the information and hanging out, especially in the evening activities we have set up and planned. So if you're ready to get out and be back around people again, I would highly recommend checking out the Super VIP Pass. I do know we still have a few of those left, so you can go check those out. Once they're gone, we'll of course pull it from the website. So if it's still there, we still have some. Now, for everybody else, where is it being hosted? Well, it's being hosted virtual for everybody else. So that was kind of now I'll kind of get into breaking down the event from a virtual event standpoint or a hybrid event standpoint, so you can kind of hear about Summit Fest. But also get some takeaways for if you're looking to do hybrid events. In my opinion, let me rephrase that. My prediction, 2021 is going to be the year of the hybrid. We've got so many in-person event hosts that are ready to get back in person, but I don't think anybody's ever going to go fully in person again, because everybody got kind of spanked pretty hard last year, right? So they're going to be adding virtual to their wheelhouse, almost as an insurance clause, really. Like if something happens in person, we've at least got our virtual set up. We got all these people anticipating virtual. Well, that being said, there's also an entire demographic of people who don't want to be in person. Even back when they were in person, they're like, I really don't want to be around people. I like to just stay home. And there's other people that, I don't really want to take off work and this and that. So now in the last year, we have seen the virtual event industry, virtual summits, live stream conferences, etc., online workshops, virtual masterminds, leap forward almost 5 years overnight.
Be sure to check out the speaker management tool inside your Virtual Summit software, which lets you quickly and easily recruit and manage your speakers on your virtual summit, literally eliminating hundreds of hours of work. Get more information at virtualsummits.com.
Not just from a technological or a strategic or just even an amount, quantity of them, but also from an acceptance standpoint. People are more open to virtual events. They're okay with virtual events they're like, you know what? It's actually, for a lot of people, just as good, if not better, being virtual than in person. So we do believe we're going to see 2021 as the year of the hybrid. Of course, there's going to be just as many and even more live streamed conferences, virtual summits, all of that's going to be going down. But I do know there is a whole subset of all of us, like myself, who are ready to be back in person with people. I miss people. I miss human beings. My extroverted soul is crying out to hang out with some people. So I cannot wait to be in New Orleans at Summit Fest Live and hang out with those super VIPs and all the speakers there. Now, with that being said, let's break down the hybrid event, because all of you that are grabbing a virtual pass, you're going to be streaming live in real time interactively. So that was actually how we positioned Summit Fest Live. Instead of me telling you what you need to do, whether me saying you should be in person or you should watch virtually, I said, why don't we just let you choose, which was our kind of theme this year. Is you choose. Come be us in person with a super VIP, or interact live in real time with an interactive virtual streamed experience. Now, you might be saying, well, how is it interactive, Mark? So the cool thing with this, also the challenging thing with this was kind of like planning and creating two events at the same time that layered over top of each other. So in person, if anybody's ever done an in-person event, there's certain things that have to be taken into consideration for in person that you don't think about virtually. For example, like bathroom breaks, or water breaks, or coffee breaks, things like that. One of the biggest feedbacks we got from last year's summit, Summit Fest Live, was, hey, Mark, we need longer breaks in between the sessions because they got to change rooms, run to the restroom, et cetera, et cetera. Well, you don't really hear that ever in a virtual event. So there's things you got to consider in person, but you also have to then consider your virtual attendees. So you're taking into perspective two viewpoints, and you need to make sure they're both taken care of. So from the virtual attendee standpoints, we have bonus sessions. We have extra sessions every time in person because there's multiple rooms with different sessions happening at the same time. So, hey, if you're not that interested in live stream conferences, come check out this session over here on Virtual Summits. If you're like, I know a lot about virtual summits, I really want to learn about hybrid events or breakout sessions or sponsorships, well, then come to the other session over here and learn from that. So you actually get to choose what information you want. We have multiple tracks kind of happening at the same time as well. So with that being said, we had to consider the virtual attendees. So while in-person attendees are actually changing rooms and the speakers are changing, etc., we have additional sessions happening virtually for our virtual attendees. So you're going to get bonus breakout sessions, hot seats with the speakers, speaker panels, networking opportunities, and more. Extra presentation, bonus events. So you're going to get even more sessions. You're going to have opportunities to ask speaker questions. So how is it going to be interactive even if you're virtual? Well, right there at the stage, the speaker is going to have big screens set up. So even though with your faces on it, they're going to be able to see you. They can see you wave, hold your hand, get excited. You can ask questions, unmute and ask a question, etc. So, we're going to have an audience in person, but the virtual attendees are going to be blended right there with us. So it's like you're going to be there, except you don't have to put pants on, right? You can stay in your pajamas or your slippers, whatever. So you get to watch from the comfort of your own home if you want. With our virtual tickets. So we were considering what extra sessions do our virtual attendees need. We've got in-person cultural events that are happening that we're also going to stream virtually so that our virtual attendants can participate as well. In the evenings, when the in-person attendees go to do their in-person activity, their event in the evening, well, we have a special separate virtual event for our virtual attendees, an experience. So what's really cool about this is not only are you going to be learning all this information about how to create your first or next super summit or mega virtual event, but you're actually going to be participating in one. It's kind of like Inception. While learning, you're going to be able to look around and watch and see how it works. So it's an incredible opportunity to not just learn, but to also experience and take away from it what you like and what you don't like. But bottom line is this year, moving forward, all businesses, all companies, all brands are going to start to have to add virtual experiences, virtual events into their businesses. Whether it's a virtual mastermind, an online workshop, a challenge, a live stream conference, or a virtual summit, you are going to have to add that into your business to stay relevant as we move forward. All businesses are shifting that way. Why? Because the marketplace is shifting that way, meaning your customers are expecting to be able to participate, consume, and enjoy the offers you have in a virtual way. So now's the time to learn this. The other aspect of this, I released this in episode 195, is when it comes to 2021, I gave my predictions. Episode 195 here on the podcast, Virtual Summit Podcast, is what's going to happen this year with virtual summits, virtual events. And in my opinion, this is the year to claim your space. This is a year to claim your summit space, your virtual event space, because everybody's going to be piling in here. Now, what does everybody do though before they host their own virtual summit or virtual event? They always do a little bit of research and see if anybody else has hosted it on that. So if you've hosted one and you claimed your space, most summit hosts, virtual event hosts, do something a little bit different. They go elsewhere. They, take it in a different direction. They don't repeat a summit that's already been done. So this is the time right now to claim your summit space before somebody else does, because somebody is going to do it. By the end of this year, we are going to see more virtual summits, more live stream conferences, more virtual events than we've ever seen in history probably put together. I know that sounds crazy, but it's going to happen. Now, let me tell you about a couple of the topics that are going to be covered. It is awesome. So let me just pull, because we're going to talk about why, for example, what you might want to participate in during Summit Fest Live. Now, remember, like I said, we have several tracks happening at the same time. So you can participate in summits for a little bit and virtual events for a little bit. We've even got some people talking on how they run their virtual event and virtual summits agencies. Like we've got virtual summit producers, virtual event, agencies and consultants that'll be teaching as well. So we have an amazing lineup of speakers. Again, all experts that are doing these activities. Nobody here is just talking hypothetically. Nobody here is just talking theoretically. These are all people that have done this, teaching this. So we've got Michael Kilpatrick talking about how to use a virtual summit to enter a new niche. How valuable is that? We've done this for every niche industry or product we've ever launched. We use a virtual summit to enter that. We got Wendy Freeman talking about how to maximize breakout sessions to increase engagement. We all know everybody's talking about breakout sessions. Most people aren't doing them correctly. She's going to be going through this. She is an amazing event host. We got Dr. Krista Burns talking about a yearly summit profitability plan that scales to multiple six figures.
With the Ever Summit feature inside the Virtual Summit software, you can rerun your summit as if it were live, ongoing forever with one click of a button. This now lets you continue to use your summit forever, bringing in qualified and engaged leads every month into your business. Get more information at virtualsummit.com.
So this is the time to establish those summits and those events into your promotional calendar and then learn how to scale that to six figures. We've got Aaron Lohman Jack talking about how to monetize your event with the perfect pitch from a virtual stage. So, hey, if you're still going to be making pitches, you're going to still be making offers, you're still be selling things, but now from virtual stages, you need to know how to adapt. Scott Carson talking about how to use organic traffic to build your summit. Like maybe you don't want to do paid traffic anymore. He's going to go through several very effective ways to use organic traffic to build your summit. We got Ashley Philham, who is an attorney specializing in virtual events, is going to be talking about legally. You don't know what you don't know about virtual events. Definitely tune into this session. We got Luke Wade talking about an omnipresent strategy to promote your clients' virtual events. We got Mike Broadwell's talking about collaborative strategies for co-hosting summits. Maybe you're like, Mark, I've been wanting to do a summit, but I don't have the time and energy to do it by myself. Well, Mike has been producing summits that have 4 hosts on them, and he's going to talk about how you can do the same. Mike Kim is going to give you a behind the scenes of a marketing consultant's campaign of the new normal for a virtual event. Mike Kim is considered one of the top branding, marketing brains and experts on the planet. He's been running virtual summits and virtual events, and he's been consulting from the marketing perspective. He's going to talk about the new normal with virtual events. We've got Alexandria Agresta, who's going to be talking about hosting a successful hybrid event, engaging a live and virtual audience at the same time. This is a must listen to. Sean Osborne, Summit Tech Setups That Won't Break the Bank. We got LaShawn Curb, Ethical Ways to Leverage Businesses That Have Large Audiences. Allison Melody, Sponsorship 101, How to Build Your Sponsor Deck and Pay for Your Virtual Event. We got Cole Whitty, Summit Systems and a Launch Plan for a Solopreneur, How to Prevent the Health Crash. Luke Wade, How to Improve Virtual Event with an Experience. Dr. Krista Burns, a 6-figure live stream conference, reveals speaker prep strategies that you must know. Just a few months ago, we hosted our own live stream conference, Dr. Krista and myself, and from stage with 50 people in attendance, we sold over $150,000 from a virtual stage. So if they say you got to have thousands of people to have a successful event, that is not true. Dr. Chris is going to tell you how. Jesse Paul Smith, who's the founder and creator of the Worldwide Dance Challenge, is going to talk about his attendee feedback loop to create an epic virtual challenge. Dr. Melissa Grill-Peterson is how to craft your post-summit offer for your summit. Kyle Gray, 3 stories to double your sales on your next virtual event. We got Dr. Justin Mosley, getting high-level speakers and how to use that to build your brand. We got Tara Thompson, how experience upsells can cover your virtual event experiences. Darren Adams, how to crush your virtual event automations. We got Sammy, tag it DJ Sammy, going to be talking about audio-visual setups that you need to know for your virtual events, and even more. We got more specialty breakout sessions all coming on Summit Fest Live. So if you have not grabbed your ticket right now, please go get it, because this is going to be an epic experience. If you want to come hang out with us in person, we still have a few of those super VIPs, V tickets. You're going to have essentially a conference designed around you, and you're going to be able to hang out, mastermind with all the speakers who will be participating throughout the whole thing. Come and hang out in the evening activities with us, enjoy New Orleans, eat amazing food. Maybe you're in a state that's still locked down and you want to be able to get outdoors for a little bit, enjoy indoor seating and dining. All of that's available in New Orleans. And then of course, if you're like, Mark, I want to hang out and watch in my slippers and sandals, and I don't want to get dressed, and I just want to watch from the comfort of my own home. Well, that's why we have that live streamed in real time interactive virtual pass available. You will be sitting there as if you were in the conference with us. We'll see your faces. You can raise your hand, you can ask questions, and you'll get some special bonus sessions from the virtual stream pass as well. So I really truly hope we'll see you at Summit Fest Live. I know I'm excited about it. We're heading out here, in a week. We're going to be out there. But no matter when you're listening to this, whether it's for this one right now or you're listening to this 3 years later, Summit Fest Live, it is the in-person conference for virtual events. Think traffic and conversions for virtual events. First week in February in New Orleans. Check it out, summitfestlive.com. I sure hope we'll see you there. And tell a friend. Tell a friend this is the spot to be. Let them know. And we'll see you in New Orleans at Summit Fest Live.
Thanks for listening. Now don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review on the Virtual Summit podcast. Head over to the show notes to check out all the links and resources from this episode, and be sure to grab your free trial of the Virtual Summit software.
Now, I want to end this episode by saying to all the Summit hosts listening right now, I believe in you, and you can do this. Summits are by far one of the most powerful ways to quickly grow your list, launch your platform, make more money, and most importantly, make an impact in the world, even if you're just getting started. So don't get caught up in analysis paralysis, because the world needs to hear your message, and there are people who are waiting for you to help them. So just get started, because imperfect action is always better than no action. Thank you, and see you on the next episode.